Hi everyone, it's Jennifer. I am back. Welcome back to my channel. Today's topic is going to be about too much pressure on your pencil or your crayon. So for those kids that press so hard that they break a crayon, or for the older kid, those are the kids that are changing their grasp all the time on the pencil and then complaining about fatigue in the hand. So I have some ideas that will help all of those kids today. All right, so first off, we're going to start with a lead pencil. I like using the lead pencil because when you do and they press too hard, it will automatically break. So then they learn to grade that control. And that graded control is what we're working on. So knowing how hard or how soft to hold on to something or to press something. So for example, if I were to hold an egg in my hand and squeeze it so it cracked, too hard. So I need to have a little more graded control in order for me to be successful. So my first idea, and I'm going to use a regular pencil for this, is writing on tissue paper. So if I write too hard on tissue paper, it will rip right through. At home, if you wanted to use a napkin, I know that I've taken notes in the car on a napkin. Same thing, if you press too hard, it will rip right through. So writing on a tissue paper or a napkin. My next idea is to put something underneath the paper. So this is a piece of foam, but you could use bubble wrap or sandpaper. Put it underneath the paper and same thing, have them write. So that if they press too hard, it'll go right through and they will put a hole in the paper. So oftentimes after our kids have broken the crayon and the crayon is so small, instead of throwing that away, use that or use a golf pencil or a smaller pencil because it's harder to hold with a gross grasp. It's harder to hold that way with a small pencil. So keep those small pieces of crayon and use those to color or write with. All right, so my next idea is using a marker. Markers don't need as much pressure as pencils. So especially for the younger kids, the kindergartners, that is a good way to get them to realize that they don't have to press so hard. So I work a lot on shading with kids and we talk about the three bears. That's my analogy. So the three bears, you can either press too hard or too soft or just right. So that's like my example that I use with the kids, that I really want that just right. Another activity that I use a lot is the vibrating pen. So it's fun. The kids think it's fun because it's got different colors that go in here. And if I hold it too tightly, my pen won't vibrate. And if I hold it too loosely, the pen is out of my hand and all over the place. So I like vibrating pens. So the underlying problem is typically some kind of strength, whether it's shoulder girdle strength or hand strength or core strength. We always want to be working on strengthening. So if you go back in some of my other videos, I have videos on core strengthening for kids, and I also have videos on typical hand strengthening for kids. But some other ideas are these paints that you have to squeeze to get the paint out. They're kind of like puffy paints. This is a 3D scented lime glue paint. Scissors and cutting through cardboard with scissors so that they really have to work hard at that. And then the other idea that I typically do with kids like on the fly is the isometric activities. So just having them push their hands together like this, like they're trying to push their hands so hard that they're going to break, or pull so hard that they're going to pull apart. Or sometimes I have stress balls, and if I don't have a stress ball, we do pretend stress balls, and that I'm trying to pull something out of their hand so they have to hold on super tight, and we'll do 10 of those quickly just to get those little hands going. My next idea is the water mat. So you can see this little girl is laying on the ground and her forearm is stationary on the ground. So when we write and when we color, our hand, our forearm stays stationary while our hand moves. And that's what happens in this water mat. When you're laying on the ground, it's really hard to lift your forearm to move. So for the younger kids, the water mat is super fun. For the older kids, I just have them lay on the ground and write their assignment on the ground or color a picture while they're laying on the ground so that they don't have the option of lifting up their forearm. Another idea is throwing it up on a vertical surface. So just taking a piece of paper and taping it up on the refrigerator or on the wall so that they're holding their arm this way and it's really hard to press hard while you're pushing in as opposed to pushing down. So just putting them up on a vertical surface might help the situation. And my last idea is weight. So I have a bag of beans here, and I put the beans right on their hand or something heavy that you can find. And I have them, I'll use a pencil because it might be easier to demonstrate. And I'll have them color or write. And if they go to lift up, the beans will fall off. So this is just a tactile reminder to keep that forearm down so they can move just their hands to write and color. So hopefully you will make any or all of these work for your child or for your student, and that these tips help you so that your kids have better fine motor skills, better handwriting skills, and it's not such a struggle for them. So thanks, take care, have fun, stay safe, wash your hands, all of that.